Hi, Adam and Roxy. This is Catherine Mary Stewart. You sent me a note asking me about Weekend at Bernie's and Comic-Cons. And thank you for that, by the way. Yeah, I had so much fun on Weekend at Bernie's. What was very cool about that was it was sort of my first foray, I guess, into comedy. It was one of the reasons I really wanted to do that movie. Yeah, we shot in New York, which was cool. We were a couple of weeks in New York, or a week or something like that. A friend of mine loaned me his apartment, which was very cool. I hadn't spent any time in New York, so I was very, very intimidated. But I had a great experience. But it was kind of strange being the single girl, quite young, in such a foreign place for me. I had been living in Los Angeles for a long time, so I was very familiar with Los Angeles. And New York, nobody drives. You take a taxi everywhere pretty much. So that was unusual. But yeah, it was a great experience. I remember actually Jonathan Silverman and I were hanging out, and Brooke Shields drove by in a limo. And she rolled down the window. She recognized John. She didn't recognize me. But that was pretty cool. I had actually done some celebrity events with her, but I'm sure she had no idea who I was. Yeah, so we shot in New York, and then instead of shooting in the Hamptons, where Bernie's house was to take place, we shot in North Carolina. And his house was actually built for the movie on a dune. It had no foundation, and it was sort of a skeleton of a house, except for the rooms that they used to shoot in. And they also had this swimming pool, which I don't think was warm. So whoever had to swim in that pool, I feel sorry for them, because I think it was really freezing cold. We shot, for the lighthouse scene, we shot on this place called Bald Head Island off, it was near Wilmington, North Carolina, so it was off Wilmington. That was really cool. We stayed a few nights there. That's one of my favorite scenes, is the lighthouse scene. It was so much fun. Ted Kotcheff, the director, he was like, "You have the best laugh." Jonathan Silverman made me laugh so hard. So it was really easy, but I laughed pretty easily anyway. But I love that scene, and it's such a funny payoff when Bernie kind of washes up on the shore behind us as I'm getting into this passionate moment. Yeah, so we had a great time. There was lots of, pranks and things like that. I remember one of the actors was for lunch. It was just before lunch, and he was like ordering lunch. He didn't want to eat the catered lunch, so he was ordering from McDonald's, and the director got so mad. He was on like a walkie-talkie ordering his lunch through an assistant director or something like that. Ted Kotcheff came up to him and grabbed the walkie-talkie, hurled it into like this marshy area, and then for the next few hours all these like PAs and ADs are like combing through this marsh looking for this walkie-talkie. That was pretty funny. And yeah, it was just a really fun shoot for sure, and I think that comes across on the screen. I've done quite a few Comic-Cons. The fun thing about Comic-Cons is you get to travel. You get to travel to different places. So I love that. I've done it twice in London now, which is my favorite because I have a lot of relatives there. And I also have relatives in Spain. So like the last one I did, my husband and I flew over. We went to Spain first before going to London. We kind of incorporated this extra little trip. So that was wonderful. I love the Comic-Cons because the fans are just so sweet and generous, and seriously, most of them know more about my movies than I do. I love that. Yeah, I can't wait for that stuff to start happening again. This COVID pandemic thing has really, wrecked all that stuff. I really love meeting people face to face. and just talking to him. And because I'm so grateful, of course, I wouldn't be here without the audience. So anyway, I wish you all the best, and I hope that answered all your questions. And I'm sending tons and tons of love. Okay, bye.